Hello FLOSSTUBE universe. It has been a minute since I've been on YouTube to greet you all and see you all and update you on what's been going on in Johnny Saxon's life, Stitchy life, all of the lives together. Anyways, yeah, it has been quite a while, and I mean, many reasons as to why. It has been quite a crazy couple of months between work, sickness, like a little bit of sickness, and just a couple of things, like a lot of life admin being done. The weekends have just been completely packed, and that's usually around the time that I can actually do these videos. So apologies for it taking so long for me to even get here. To be honest, I'm sort of like happy that it's taken a couple of months for me to get here, because at least I have, you know, stuff to talk about. I mean, throughout all that time, I have actually been stitching and just, I don't know, just kind of clearing out a little bit of those patterns that I had. Well, not clearing out, but like beginning or getting pretty far with the stitchiness on it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of show you all where I'm at. There is a finish, which is exciting. I mean, the smalls. You have to have some smalls. If you don't have the smalls, then you don't actually have these finishes. But it's not just finished. It's a fully finished object. It's an FFO. I have not had one FFO. I've had one FFO, which is my first project, but I've not had an FFO since. I mean, the wizard that I have is still in my drawer, rolled up, ready to see a frame one day. It's just, yeah, I haven't gotten around to it. Well, I'm thinking of putting them all on like this wall here. So maybe just start populating and just having like a wall display of just all the stitch in this little man cave that I've got in here. So I might as well. Nothing's stopping me except my laziness, except for the fact that I prefer just to start a new project and start stitching all over again and forget that I actually finished one. When will I learn? When will I learn? Well, so, you guys know how I like to begin these videos now. I usually like to do a life update first and then sort of get into the whole stitchy craziness later. So if you do want to skip ahead just to the stitchy stuff, then please do so. I'll have some chapters underneath here for you to be able to do that. If not, and you want to stay and hear what's been happening with me, then yay, thank you. And also, can I just say, and if I haven't said it enough, thanks so much for all the subscriptions, for everyone that's sort of been following and wanting to kind of, you know, catch up with me and what I do with stitchiness and just wanting to, you know, be notified of me coming back on YouTube. So thank you. Like, this is very, very lovely and I really appreciate it. Okay. Life update. First and foremost, my blonde's gone and I feel naked. It feels strange not having it. So I'm back. There's actually like a remnant of a blonde hair right there. That it's just, I actually asked the barber, can you just leave it there just so I have something to remember the craze that was the blonde hair. I've decided that when it comes to summer here in Sydney, that's when I'll go back. And just do like another crazy sort of color all over the hair. It just gets boring. I get bored. I kind of look very thuggish with this hair sometimes, and the way the barber cuts it, I don't know. And a little change every now and then is nice. But yeah, look, there has been quite a bit, and I'm only going to gloss over so much really about, you know, what's been happening with me. Apart from, you know, work stuff, there's no point in going to work stuff. It's hard. It's hard sometimes. We're at our peak period, so it's a little bit crazy, and I'm in the office quite a bit, and there's a lot of managing, there's a lot of people management, and there's a lot of that and that can be taxing. So thank God that I can actually come back home and turn off with a bit of a just the mental kind of checkout that I do when I'm actually stitching. Thank God. Thank God that exists. So kind of like work aside, there's been lots of life admin stuff that I've been doing, just lots of health checks, all that kind of stuff, because I want to make sure that I'm healthy. I'm almost 40 next year, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing all the correct tests to keep healthy. I've been hitting the gym a lot more, which is nice. I'm just trying to go 2 to 3 times a week. Becoming kind of like a spin class kind of person. Like I'm sort of enjoying that, going there in the morning. They're pumping music at me. And I would say I am the worst in the morning. I would wake up and no, there's no way that I would want to talk to anyone. My partner and I have had so many domestics in the last 17 years of being together about me in the morning. It's just my worst period. So I need a coffee, I need to sit down, and I need complete and utter silence. I need to just have one task at hand to be able to focus on, whether it be watching the television or watching a YouTube video or reading a book. It has to be one task and that's it. As soon as I hear like dialogue, someone wants to have a dialogue with me, whether it be my partner or even my dog, I have no bar of it. I'm a terrible person. I admit it. There's nothing I can do to fix it. I'm pretty sure I've even told a therapist about it once upon a time, and they're like, "You're just this way," and I'm like, "Great, cool. I'll deal with that." What was my point? I had a point. Anyways, yes, mornings, cycle, spin. I'm back. This is why I need to go get checks, because the memory, it leaks. It leaks bad. Anyway, so yeah, spin class, they just like throw music at me in my face. But I think the combination of getting my endorphins running and then actually having the music, it kind of like gets me into a nice mood. Though one thing I have figured out this time going back to the gym, and I've been gymming, like I've been going back and forth from the gym for so long because I have a real hate-love relationship. Not love-hate, hate-love relationship. I hate it more than I love it. But yeah, I found out that like I need to eat breakfast before I go to the gym, and then I need like an hour before I get there, which is part of that wake up routine. If I just get up and go to the gym, it's not going to happen. So new things that you learn about yourself every now and then, right? Anyways, hitting the gym, spin class is cool. A bit of Pilates here, just getting myself into a nice routine, which is nice. Am I seeing the efforts of it? No. I'll keep going. Other healthy stuff that's been happening is I'm doing like a low bacterial diet at the moment. I'm actually in the second day of it. So if I'm not the happiest I've ever been on this channel, it's probably because I'm having caffeine withdrawals, sugar withdrawals from the carbs, and anything else. Because right now I'm eating, I don't know what I'm eating. Nothing. It is, oh God, it's going to sound like a whinge if I keep going, but I have to stop. I'm doing this diet for healthy and positive reasons. I'm doing it to just do stuff. I'm very aware of woke diets and all that, but I feel like I've researched this diet enough to make sure that it's a good diet that's actually going to do something, because I wouldn't do a diet. I hands down would not do a diet if it wasn't going to lead to something. So I'm doing this diet just to make sure that I just feel good, because there's reasons why I'm doing all these life admin. The reasons are because I'm going to the USA in July, which is fantastic. I'm really excited. Tickets are bought. I've now got hotel accommodation. I've got Airbnb accommodation. You name it. It's all booked. It's ready. And that is another thing that's been taken up on my weekends. But yeah, can I just say, America, if you're listening, wow, you are expensive to Australians. Very expensive. I am out of pocket quite a bit. And I'm not even living a high life. I'm just coasting. Anyways, The last time on my FLOSSTUBE, I mentioned that I was going to the USA. Now, I had this whole trip planned where I was going to go. It sounded so good in my head. I was going to go to Texas, and I was going to move to the east and travel all the way up to Pennsylvania, and then from there kind of turn around and go back to Chicago and in San Francisco. A lot of you commented back on that and told me that in July the humidity is so unbearable that it's just no point. There's no point. And at first I was listening, but I was like, I'm sure I can handle humidity. I'm sure. And then I started looking into it more, looking into the places that I'll be going to, and it started to dawn on me that you're all right. You're all correct. That humidity looks insane. I don't think I want a holiday or have a summer holiday with that. But I'm still going to the US, but I thought if it's going to be hot, I'd rather a dry heat over a humid heat. Now, this does take away a lot of the stitchy sort of places that I wanted to go to. Unfortunately, I really wanted to do that, but I think it's better that I just come in fall when that's just a better time for it. But there's all these little places that are sort of penciled in that I really want to go to. Wilmington, I believe, is that the place that I wanted to go to? Wilmington. I think that's the one in North Carolina. Nope, I'm making that up. It's not Wilmington. It's something else entirely. And now I am going to take you guys along the ride of me trying to figure this out. So it's a North Carolina city. Oh, here it is. No, I'm right. No. It just took me, the map took me to Wilmington, Delaware. Stupid. So Wilmington, North Carolina. Dawson's Creek was shot there. Now, I'm not a Dawson's Creek fan. My partner is. But I know what she did last summer was shot there. Now, that I'm a fan of. I really wanted to go there and get that vibe, that little fishing town vibe and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I was looking at other places that I was going to go. Anyway, I'm not going there anymore. It's another trip for another time. I know there's like the Blue Ridge Parkway, I think it's called. Need to do that. So many things I'm going to do. But where I'm going now. So for anyone that's really interested in this, I'm just going to say it anyway. We are going to Texas. I'm going to be passing the cities of Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, and then heading out to the Texas high country. I never knew that Texas had a high country. Okay, Texas high country, Fredericksburg. I'll be visiting. There'll be wine, and I'll be happy. And that's like a hotel and spa that I got there. Thank you, Lord. I need some rest. Then, from there, I'm a little bit... Okay, as an Australian, I'm putting it out there. If anyone lives in Texas, please let me know. But the strip between Fredericksburg, let's say, or let's say San Antonio and Austin to New Mexico seems a little dangerous. Not sure what to expect in that area. Anyways, I'm going to be going to Abilene. I thought that was the less dangerous of all the places. It's apparently in a song. Look, I don't know. I'm Australian. It's all foreign to me. I'm sure it's probably a lovely place, but I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But we're road tripping, so we'll be in a car. So that's why I'm saying it. I'm asking. But Abilene, we'll be going to Roswell. I know. It's Roswell. It's a sham. There's nothing there. That's part of the beauty of going there. To realize that there's nothing there. Or maybe there's something there. There's a McDonald's shaped as a UFO. That's enough. If you ask me, that's enough. So we'll be going to Roswell. We're going to be going to a Native American casino in the mountains in New Mexico. Santa Fe, Gallup, Flagstaff, Phoenix. There's all road tripping. I'm very excited. I hear there's a high, like you go up to a high altitude there. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever been to a town that high as Santa Fe. But these places, like they're very, like I've never seen any landscapes like the places I'm going to be going to. So I'm very excited to see that. from there, then I take a little bit more of a relaxing kind of phase of the trip, apart from the road tripping. But Palm Springs, got myself a little nice pad there, pool, I'll be relaxing, I'll be reading. And then we go off to LA, Santa Barbara, and San Francisco. I think it's a pretty epic trip still. It's very much the dry desert summer sort of thing. I am going to die in 50-degree weather. But hey, like if I leave early morning, get there, sleep during the day, wake up at night, vampire styles, will be sweet, right? I'm excited. Anyways, this has been a very long life update. But yeah, I mean that's basically where everything is at currently. I'm just looking forward to this trip and doing everything I can to just get a little bit fit, work on the diet, as I said. And look, if there's anywhere that I said there, like in LA, for example, I'm going to be staying in West Hollywood. I found a few Stitchy stores around there nearby, and I'm like, I'll go check them out. Like, I want to check out Stitchy stores anywhere along that trail, but I just don't know many around there. New Mexico, do they have Stitchy stores? Anyway, if any tips, please send them my way. I'm very excited. Okay, and I think that's basically life update. I've got some stuff like entertainment stuff that I can talk about as my last segment where we'll talk about anything other than stitching. So there's life update and anything other than stitching. That's how I format this. But now we're going to go to stitching. So, stitching. Right, where do we begin? I mean, should I just start with the FFO? We should start with the FFO. Okay. All right. Do you guys remember a certain visitor? An iconic visitor, perhaps? Well, she's done. She's finished. And she's also in... Oh, God. The glare. So, now... Yeah, the glare. The reflection. It's all falling apart. Okay. So, that... Oh, God. That glare is not going to work for us, is it? Let me just move this stupid ring light that I just used to make myself look prettier. Well, we're dealing with the glare, people. Kind of. All right, maybe it's better from here. You can see everything now. Anyways, here it is. Iconic visitor. In the frame. As a full finish. Okay. Everything's falling. Oh my God. Nope, you're not supposed to be there. Go back there. All right, as long as I still look pretty. All right, so here it is, iconic visitor. Now, I'm very excited that I finished this. This is the first one I've ever actually sort of put together in a frame and have... I tried... Look, I couldn't put a foam board in this because the foam board was too thick, so I got a thick cardboard. Actually, I got this cardboard here. So it's pretty thick, and I used that to lace behind it. So I started lacing, and then I stopped. And then all I did in the end was just get Hollywood tape. I got Hollywood tape, the double-sided, the one that I think is used to just hold up clothes and all that kind of stuff. So I put that on the cardboard, and then I used it like Velcro, and I just kind of like shifted the fabric down, and it's stuck. I don't know how long that's going to last. I hope it does last for a while, but it's stuck. I just thought it was better than the lacing technique. I just couldn't fit it in this frame. Now, something special about this frame is we made this frame, or my partner made this frame. So this one's the frame that we did at Woodwork. So this is completed from the both of us. It's got my iconic visitor inside it. There she is. Very pretty. Look at the UFO. And then it's also got my partner's handiwork. So, yeah, the way we fasten it is with this screwdriver. We have to undo the screwdriver. But what's cool is these holes here, you can just sort of change up how you want to stand it with these brass rods. So in our case, we've got this on our mantle downstairs. So, yeah. Fully finished object. Would you look at that? It can happen. I can do it. That's it for finishers. Like we got no more. That's all I got. All right, so I've laid out most of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about today in terms of stitchy stuff. But clap for me for the fully finished. I'm just going to say Iconic Visitor. I finished Iconic Visitor this month on the 7th. That was the last time I did the backstitching. So just so you know, he, she, they were 6,860 stitches all up. It took me... How long did it actually take me? It took me 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. It took me about 42 days to do. So 42 days of solid stitching on it in the morning and the evening. It's not too bad. Anyways, so that is the Iconic Visitor. Excited. Okay, next thing. So I don't know if you guys remember I've mentioned it quite a few times. I started Winter, the black work. Sorry, we're in WIP Parade now. Just putting it out there. I started Winter on a different fabric and I wasn't happy with it. And so I decided to switch the fabric to something a little bit more basic, a little bit more, well, it's just a linen fabric that I picked, and it's a bit hard, the linen. I'm not really sure which one it is. I'm pretty sure I got it from Morris & Sons in the city. But anyways, I did start it. I didn't get too far. Blackwork is quite interesting. I probably should have stuck to 14 count because blackwork, when it's smaller, I don't know, you lose the patterns, but like I'm still happy with it. So I don't know if this is gonna work. That's the beginning of Winter, the coat from the thing. So I'll put a picture of what Winter looks like in the bottom left. But so far, I don't know if you can actually see just how delicate that black work is. It's probably a bit close. Sorry, guys. But it does take a lot to see it. But I'm excited to continue this one. I think the backstitching is fun to do as something different other than just doing cross stitches. And this one incorporates cross stitch and backstitch at the same time. It's exciting, and I do want to work on it more. I just kind of got myself into other projects, and then I lost track. Right, next one. Now, I haven't really put in a lot of effort into my Fruits of Plenty, which is the Modern Folk embroidery pattern. So last month, I put in 3 days worth on it. This month, I put in nothing. Like, I really haven't gotten far. This is where I'm up to. So I've done... I don't even know if I showed you this the last time. I've done this motif here. Does it work better if I do this? So I've done the motif here. So the top 3 motifs are done, and I started working on... Wow. I should just clip it, but anyways. I started working on this section here with the flowers and the patterns here. I do like working on this. I just find that it can get a bit monotonous. And considering that I'm supposed to be a monogamous stitcher, FLOSSTUBE has changed me. Thank you, FLOSSTUBE. I blame you all for making me... Well, I mean, okay, fine. I watch like Therese's Little Stitcher when she goes to those conventions, and she asks the question to all the other stitchers, hey, how many whips do you have on the go? And some go up to 100. I'm like, 100? How? How do you even keep track? How do you even know it's 100? I don't even know what I ate yesterday. Actually, I do because of the diet, but usually I don't. All right. So that's Fruits of Plenty. And then I really, really spent some time on Bellatrix. Bellatrix and I, we really got along the past 2 months. Let's see. I lied. Last month, me and her didn't get along that much. Wow, 0 days spent on her last month. I'm just a complete liar. So anyway, me and Bellatrix spent this month, we spent some time together. It felt like a lot of time, but I feel like I got a lot done. Maybe that's why. I really jumped ahead. Let's say we've spent about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 days worth of stitching on her. But again, I feel like I've gotten pretty far with her. Anyways, this is what she is looking like. Have I got it the right way? Oh yeah, okay, cool. So she is looking very lovely. And I worked on this bottom half here. And the leg, the peeking leg, which is all done. I don't know if you can see that, but it's all 1/1. 10th stitch. I don't think I would be able to hack the full cross as 1/1. But as a 2/1. I lied. It's 2/1 10th stitch, which is why it looks so full. I do like, though, in this pattern, I think one of my favorite things about Bella Fillipina anyway is how she sort of gets this part here, which is the mountains in the background. Once it's done, it's almost like a blurry effect, and that I find pretty fascinating. I like the idea of like depth of field in cross stitch. Like it's a hard task to do, but if you can do it, it's like kind of like when I mentioned in the Wizard how if you get the blended floss and sort of blend it, and then you do these sort of effects, it comes across as effects. When you do like a 10th stitch, or if you go from 1 strand to 2 strands to 3 strands, gives it an overall effect, which is nice. I like it. Artistically, I like it. All right. Okay, so those are my current projects that we know of. I do have a new start that I've started on that I've been completely having an affair on Bellatrix with this one. Only because I really want to get ahead, because it's my first ever stitch along, my first ever SAL. I'm sure a lot of you are already doing it, because if I'm doing it, you probably showed me what it is and now I'm doing it, you know what I mean? Anyways, we are stitching Lola Crowe's Greenhouse of Oddities, and it's a very exciting stitch along, may I say, because I do like birds, and I think once this is done, it's going to be really, really pretty. But this is how far I've gotten. And I think I've done a pretty good job in terms of how quick I've gotten to this point. I've pretty much done 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 days worth. And I've gotten the crows in. I think there's another crow on the other section that goes here. I haven't done the bottom though. I feel like that's going to be very heavy cross stitching to just catch up. I know she's just released the new part of the pattern, which is a sort of like a green Joshua tree or cactus with an owl on top of it that sort of goes here, or does it go here? Anyways, I'm very excited about it. I've already made a mistake on it, but it's not noticeable because I just made it look like it's part of this. But anyways, some extra stitches here, but it really doesn't matter. It still looks good. But yeah, this is an exciting one. I just think this one's a real fun one. And you can see that she's playing with highlights and shadows. With the highlighted cross stitch here and the shadows at the back there, just to give it that 3D effect. I just thought that was kind of cool. Another sort of way of using effects. Really, really pretty. Hello. Really, really pretty. And the fabric that I'm using is am I using actually? I believe it's this. So it's Fancy Fabrics. It's called Long-Tailed Mouse. 36 count. Edinburgh linen. Let's show you again just so you can see the colour. The colour is, like, I would explain it as dusty. It's kind of like a dusty sort of look. It's not, it looks grey on the camera. It's not grey. It's definitely a tinge of brown, like a very sort of dusty brown. I guess it could be grey, but I just don't want it to be. Anyway, so there's the new start. It's very exciting. I really like working on this one. I feel like when I'm working on it, it just feels nice. It's a good pattern. Okay, so Lola Crowe. So guys, that's what I'm stitching on. That's basically my WIP Parade and new start. Like, it's there's a lot there. I have done a lot of stitches in the past couple of months. But yeah, like in total, I've probably done, last month I did 3,246 stitches. I haven't counted the end of this month. I imagine it's more. I feel like I've stitched more this month than the previous months. But yeah, really enjoying just keeping this little stitch diary so I can see where I'm up to with everything. So far, like looking at that Greenhouse of Oddities, I'm like about 45% through that. And then Bellatrix, I've got a long way to go. One thing I have noticed, which made me really sad, Pattern Keeper. When I bring in a new pattern into Pattern Keeper that's not for Pattern Keeper, one that I actually have to scan and bring in myself, like Bellatrix, it didn't hit me that any of the squares, like any of the grid on something like that, on one that you bring in manually, is not counted. So you have to actually select them all to bring the percentage to a 0, if you know what I mean. Even though it's not going to be 0, it would say, all the squares that you've selected from the grid with nothing in it. Then you're at like 40% of the whole image is done, even though you've done no stitches. You just removed the grid parts that you don't need. So I haven't done that. So this whole time when I was doing Iconic Visitor, for example, I was like, oh yes, we're at, 60%, 70%. And then it's like, oh, I'm done. And it's like, oh no, that's right, because 30% of it's grid that wasn't part of the Pattern Keeper pattern. So yeah, I don't know how to get around that. Is it a suggestion? Okay, so I have collected quite a few things. Do I have new items, like new cross stitches? I don't have many. I actually try to not buy too much because I've got such a big stock that I have to sort of go through. I mean, I just went through my stash and I forgot all about the Magnificent Wizard. Like, why haven't I started him? I've completely forgotten. And the Enchanter! Teresa Winslow, the Enchanter! I've just left it. I know that I asked about the threads and cleaning them. It says to clean the threads one by one. I'm not doing that. No. That is a no. Anyways, new haul, guys. I went to the Crewel Gobelin in Woollahra here in Sydney for the first time this week. They are an amazing stitch store here in Sydney. So many samplers. I've never seen so many samplers in one place. I know where to go if I want samplers now. It's the Crewel Gobelin. I think that is like their specialty. When I was speaking to the lady there, I can't remember her name. She was really lovely. She specifically told me samplers are their thing. Now, they had beautiful fabrics too there. And such a good selection. And like I find that fabrics are far in between here in the Sydney stitch stores, but like Crewel Gobelin seem to have a better selection. I think the best selection, hand down, a Stitch in Time down in Tasmania. They had the best selection I've seen. But then again, who am I why am I saying this? I've been to 3 stitch stores in Australia, so I don't really have much to compare to, except Spotlight. You don't compare. Anyways, so as far as fabric goes, Crewel Gobelin, I ended up getting some new fabric. I got myself, this is a Fox and Rabbit fabric. It's called Flannel Flower, 36 count linen. Now, it's sort of similar to the one that I'm using for the Greenhouse of Oddities. I just seem to like this one because it's got an antique sort of look to it. Not much, but it just... I don't want it too much like tie-dye or anything like that. I mean, I've got a few like that, but I'll show you all the fabric that I've got in my stash because I don't think I've actually done like a fabric sort of parade for you all just to see what I've got. But Fox and Rabbit seem to have some really pretty fabrics that I'm into. And the one that I used for Greenhouse, I believe that... Oh, I thought that was Fox and Rabbit, but I'm wrong. It was Fancy Fabrics. Anyways, that's a stash that I got from Crewel Gobelin. Also, I've never owned Even Weave, surprisingly. So I just got myself a very standard antique white Lagana Even Weave. It's a big 50 by 70 piece, just so I can have it as part of my stash, just in case. This one's my favorite that I bought. I bought myself... Now this one, I can already imagine what I'm going to stitch on it. It's a beautiful forest green, which only means... Like, it actually looks darker. Again, it's a bit grey. Maybe when I grade this colour, I can show the true colour. But basically, this is green. It's a forest sort of green. And I'm imagining, like... actually, what do I want to do on this? I just feel like this one lends itself to mushrooms and a forest scene, silhouettes, something like that on this. Subtle, earthy colours, nothing bright. That's what I want to do on this. I feel like she would be good. Okay, so it's Fox and Rabbit. It's called River Gum. Got myself a fat quarter. It's a 32 count. And I just find that's one of my more special ones. Fox and Rabbit again, winners. I believe they're on the Central Coast. That's what the lady at Crewel Gobelin told me. Thank you so much. All right, so I don't remember if I ever showed you this fabric, so excuse me if I haven't. But this one is Fancy Fabrics again. And... Yep, so this one's called Dusk. It's a 32 count Belfast linen. Now, there are so many things you can stitch on this. I'm pretty sure. I can definitely see a certain like Bella on it, or a Mirabilia, or even a Nora Corbett. Now, again, that looks grey. I'm not liking how this color is being portrayed, but this is definitely blue. And it's a sky blue as well. Kind of like the color that you would see, just not like the bright blue that you would see in the sky, but oh, actually the color showing up here. The color seems better there. Yeah, see how the color sort of changes, but over here it's a deeper blue? That's more like it. It's a very pretty fabric. I don't really know yet if I've got a pattern that I want to put on that one, but I will find out. And then we've got this same deal as a forest green, I reckon. I've got a navy blue, maybe a hint of purple sheen on this one. This is from Fox and Rabbit. It's called Black Swan. 40 count. What was I thinking? Why the hell did I get a 40 count? Oh gosh. Anyway, it's not black. It's navy blue. I'll bring it back here again. But this one, yeah, I wonder what would go on that. Oh, you know what? I'll recount it here. The snow globe, the Winter Castle snow globe. That would go well on this. For sure. Is it even worth me mentioning just your standard Ada? It's a huge piece. Linen style. 14 count, I think. All right, and this one was a purchase that I purchased online that I was kind of like, sorry for the noise. Do I know if this is going to be the correct color? I thought I was getting purple. It's not really purple. I would say it's more of a pink. It's Paddock Lane Designs, and it's glittery. It's glittery, which is fine. So all those little specks that you see, you can't see the glitter, but they're glittery. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's purple. I'd say it's like a faded pastel pink. I have no idea what I'm going to be stitching on this. Maybe a gift. I just don't see myself using it for anything that I would personally like. I don't know what possessed me to get that color. Like it feels like the color that, I don't know, I associate it with like my sister's bed sheet cover that she had of ballerinas when she was younger. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know what I would stitch on that. Maybe a Nora, maybe a Bella. I'll think about it. Paddock Lane Designs. It's called Purple Marble. I don't agree. 32 count. It's not purple. I studied color. It's not purple. It's the thing. I studied color. Okay. So, and then the last of all was nothing crazy, guys. It's my first ever gridded 32 count Lagana. I just wanted something gridded just if I ever do a full coverage. So nothing crazy. I just wanted something like that. New items that I've purchased. Stuff that I can talk about. Guys, I fell for it. I got the Paco thread organizer. And you know what? I thought that when I bought this, that this would be plastic. It's not. It's foam, which is actually better. The plastic, I don't know why I thought it would be plastic. It just looked it in the picture, but it is really easy to use. You know, take these out, put your symbols on it, not the number, but the symbols, and it does make it easier. When you put on the threads like you would for a thread drop, I usually just get the needle in at the top. Excuse me. I get the needle in at the top, and then I will pull out my strand. And what it does, it doesn't, because of the foam, I don't think it doesn't curl the thread, which I find if I do it on a thread drop, it does because of the cardboard. It just gives it that, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe there's a better way of doing it, but that's what it does. It is nice to use. I'm using it. I put all the greenhouse of Oddities threads on there, and I'm using it for that. And I'm enjoying using this. I think that this is one of my favorite new ones to kind of use. I do prefer this now, the Paco thread organizer, and the thread drops over bobbins any day. Bobbins are just annoying to use. This is so much easier. So happy that I got this. I know that I'm going to run out of these cards one day. So I was thinking of just scanning an empty one and then just keeping a copy online, like on my computer, and then just print a page out every time, because it looks like it would be an A4 width. So you could print out a whole lot of them and then just cut them with one of those paper cutters, the paper slicers things that you find at work. So it's easily manageable, and the felt, like the foam, bits might degrade over time. I don't know how long this will last based on that, but you know, let's give it a try. It is really good. It's one of my favorite purchases that I've made so far out of my Stitchy supplies. So there's that. When I went to the Crewel Gobelin, I got my first square hoop, which, would I say it's a game changer? It gives some extra space. It's not really a game changer. It's just a nicer hoop, I guess. Is it worth 55 Australian dollars? I don't know. Because I can get a hoop for so much cheaper and a bigger hoop, and then I'll get the same space that this is giving me just on a bigger hoop. Jury's out on the square. I haven't held it in hand to know if it's any better in hand than over a hoop, so I can't comment on that. I'm using it. I'm using it like I would a hoop on my stand that I've got. So, yeah, maybe it's good. I don't see the fuss. Black work. My eyesight. Anyways, new LED lights that I use. It's very attractive. I feel like I can really sport this when I go out and about, but it does these crazy little lights like I'm an astronaut. And it changes. Oh, how cool does this look? So these are lights that do change. They're supposed to be for reading. I use this setting where it does both, and it does work really well at lighting. Like you can see, it lights a page quite bright. It's one of my favorite new purchases. It's so crazy. It's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Whoa. Anyways, I'm having too much fun with these. I'm going to put them away. So these, enough. These are a great purchase. Really, really helps when you're working on a hoop up close, or even if you're using a Q-snap or something like that. Just working really up close. This has been one of the best things that I've bought. It's much stronger than the booklight that I'm using. And is that all? I think as far as equipment goes, that's all. So I'll go to the next thing. I have purchased one new kit / pattern. It's not. It is not my type of pattern ever. Like, I would never think that I would pick this. I'm going to tell you why I picked it, and then hopefully you can see the reasoning behind it. But I usually get the Fox collection newsletters and in the mail, etc. since I've ordered through them. I think they're like got a sister company called Innovations here in Sydney. Look, their cross stitches are usually a little bit more aimed for just a different type of target market than what I'm used to or what I like. They have a few things there that I like. Their front page, though, was this design, and I know why they picked it. So, again, you'll know it's not my type when you see it. I don't know. I doubt it may be yours too, but it's called Dad's Helper. By Momentos Magicos. So I believe it's a Russian or maybe Ukrainian counted cross-stitch kit. So this is what it is. I'll bring it really close. Move the light again. Oh, he's done it again. Why do I like this? This is, I love myself wizards and magic and all that kind of stuff. Does this not look magical? The clouds. They've actually made a bloom effect from the sun peering through the clouds. And the way that the color is actually casting, or the light is casting onto the clouds as a reflection and reflected in the water and just casting a sort of glow alongside like the scenery of what's happening is beautiful. It's so well designed. I was aghast when I saw it. And again, like front page, it was the front page of the magazine that I got that was selling it. The little boy, just the overall atmosphere that's being created in this shot. I I couldn't compare it to anything that I've seen before of this sort of style of cross stitch that has affected me or personally spoke to me so much. But yeah, like it's just have a look again and just see they've got forest trees in the back, a bloom effect that's sort of hitting that, the way that the light is cast onto the lighthouse, the way that the water looks, even just the way it looks and how it's rippling, and how the sun is casting onto the boardwalk or the pier, sorry, that's coming out. I love it. This is such a beautifully looking thing, and I would put this up in my house in a heartbeat. It's just got such a beauty to it. There's one thing I dislike about it, and I will change it when I get to it. I don't like the backstitching around the boy, around his hat and his face. So that backstitching, I'm going to change that, and then I reckon it'll be perfect for me. Yeah, love. Oh my god, I just recognized he's wearing little red shoes as well. It was like a Wizard of Oz throwback. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's one of my favorite things. And then I saw these in the store the other day too, cross stitch magazines. I bought them. There's not really much in there for me. I did it because I was like, oh yeah, it'll be kind of cool to see. And then I'm like, no, it's still not really stuff that I like. It'll be, I've got them now. I don't know where they're gonna go, if I'm gonna use them. If anyone wants them, please comment. I'll give it to you. It's not really my type. There's nothing in there that's generally remotely my style. So yeah, I think that comes to the end of my stitchy journey the last 2 months, and boy, it's been a bit of a journey. So one FFO, one new start, a lot of progress on the other 3, and just one new haul, I guess, plus a lot of little bits and pieces. I'm sure there's more than that, but nothing that I can think of right now. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. I can't wait to just get to progress the greenhouse. I think that's one of my favorites. Bella is overwhelming. She's huge. She by the time I actually get her done, I don't know. I really don't see myself finishing her this year. Winter, I see myself finishing this year. The black work. I feel like I can get that done. But yeah, I've got some goals. Plus, I mean, I'm gone for a month in July when I'm over in America. I've got to take something stitchy with me there. I think my go-to will probably be Fruits of Plenty to take. It's a good one to take because of the amount of threads that I need, or just the colors anyway. So yeah, I might take Fruits of Plenty overseas with me and get a lot done on that one, since I've been missing out on stitching on it. So yes, guys, that's the end of my stitchiness. So why don't we go to the next segment, which, again, if you'd like to go, this is about the time that you go. But, oh, actually, no, wait a second. I've completely forgotten. Again, who I've been watching on FLOSSTUBE. I've been watching so many new people that I should mention them, because it's been, firstly, great, because one of them actually got me into the whole Lola Crowe thing. So I've been watching Cam the Stitcher. So shout out to Cam the Stitcher. She is the reason why I've been enabled with Lola Crowe. So thank you, Cam. I really appreciate it. And she's been great. I've been watching Fiber Arts Amy a lot as well. She's just done this 2-parter video where I was sort of just, I was going through all the motions with her. She's got so many projects on hand right now, but it's very exciting. I do love watching her channel. As always, I love watching Globetrotting Stitcher. Her and her husband, Gary, make me laugh so much. Every time I watch her, I always feel like I'm in that room with her, across from the armchair, also just having a bit of a gab. So yeah, anyway, she's fantastic. And yeah, I believe there have been more, but oh gosh, not that I can remember. Oh, and yes, I saw the response from Cindy Love and Stitch for my shout out from my previous video, and I laughed because she was saying that she was having a bad day and I made her day better. Well, I had also the same day when she gave me a shout out, I was having a bad day and then she made my day better. So it's karma, I guess. So thank you for the shout out as well. She's fantastic though. I love watching her. She's got beautiful. Her work is always so stunning. But yeah, so those are my shout outs. So next section, everything other than cross stitch. Wow, this is a long video, guys. What the fuck? Sorry, I just swore. Okay, anyways. So everything other than cross stitch. I have been in such an entertainment mood the last 2 months that I've done everything that I said that I was going to do in my last FLOSSTUBE video, which is I've kept to reading. So no phones in my room when I sleep. And in the morning, I don't touch my phone. The first thing I do is I get a book. Well, guys, I've been reading a lot. It's actually worked. Whatever this habit is that I've done, I've now read 3-4 books in the last 2 months. Mind you, okay, fine. Maybe 2 books. The other 2 are graphic novels. Look, no one picks and chooses, but I'm reading. That's the whole point. And graphic novels are cool. I'm going to tell you about one of them anyway. But the books that I've been reading, I just finished. Look, I'm a massive Buffy fan, so I finished one of the books that are part of the Buffyverse called Slayer by Kristen White. Anyway, was it good? Yeah, it was okay. 3 out of 5. But it was good. I was reading. The whole point was reading. I'm reading. And now I'm just finishing off a book that I started 3 years ago. That it's Ready Player 2. It's a bit of a look. It's not a good book either. Again, I'm reading just to get it out and done. One of the best things that I have read though, and it is a graphic novel, but I finished it yesterday. I was sitting next to my partner and I had my headphones in as he was watching Mission Impossible. I don't know. But I'm sitting there listening to Sarah McLachlan because I'm in a mood lately. I'm going back to the 90s, baby. I'm listening to Sarah McLachlan and I can't say that last name properly. I'm the worst. Sarah McLachlan. Okay. Anyway, listening to her reading this book. The book is called Serial by Terry Moore. It's a graphic novel, sorry. It is such a fantastic graphic novel. The art alone is beautiful. We talk about black work on this channel. We talk about black work in stitching or needlework. That art for that graphic novel is so similar to what I would consider black work. But what they do in it is they put patterns to show contrast. Contrast and gradients within the frame. And so the way the pictures look, it just starts moving, but it's all ink and black and white. It's just beautiful, beautifully done. It is a very gory graphic novel. I mean, it's a comic book, let's be honest. But in saying that, the story, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. I laughed, I cried, I wasn't scared, but I did laugh out loud plenty of times, and I actually cried when I got to one part in it. The story is about a young girl who's not a young girl. She's actually a 40-year-old woman that's stuck in a young girl's body, and she's following a serial killer's tracks. And the serial killer is like a chameleon. It sort of blends in, but ends up finding her victims are actually pedophiles. And so it's pretty insane story in that sense, but it is gripping, like cinematic. I'm here explaining it because it is that good. I was so taken aback at how good it was. I do believe it's won awards of some sort. Fantastic graphic novel. I can't recommend it enough. I was blown away. I need more of that. More of those books in my life, please. So yes, reading's working. Yeah, it's fantastic. And the other thing is I've just been watching movies. I've found that I like watching on TV shows especially, and this overwhelming amount of TV shows that are out there currently. It's too much. So I get overwhelmed by it, and then I don't know what to watch, and then I just sit there not watching anything but YouTube. And I like YouTube. I do like FLOSSTUBE, etc. I like watching reaction videos and all that kind of stuff. History, especially, learning about history. But you know, I want to watch other stuff like fiction and all that. So what I did, so one of the things that I do and have been doing for the last 2 months is I go to Letterboxd, which is a fantastic site for reviews. I like it for reviews. It's just enough, but it doesn't ward you off even the badly reviewed stuff. Like, you still want to watch it. It's not like Rotten Tomatoes where it's like, it's rotten, don't watch it. It's like, why shouldn't I watch it? Why can't I watch it and make my own opinion? Maybe I'll like it. And you know what? Most of the time, I do like some stuff that's rotten. And that's okay. So I don't like being dictated by the critics so much these days. It's annoying. It's annoying because it's not like it used to be when I was, oh God, when I was younger. But you know what I mean? You go to a video store, you look at a video and you're like, you read the summary and you're like, I'm taking this home today and I'm going to watch it, whether it's good or not. So there's got to be a bit of that too. You can't have everything be good, because then everything good just becomes same-ish. It means that you can't see what's really good when you don't see the bad. You know what I mean? It's such a normal sort of thing that should happen. Like, you just can't have too many good things. Anyway, so Letterboxd, I go to the list there and I go to a random number generator, pick the number, and I go straight to that number out of 10,000 films that are there. And I look at it, and if it's not foreign, I won't watch foreign films because I can't stitch and watch foreign films. It's a no-go. So I would just pick an English one and watch it, regardless of what it is. And can I say, I'm so happy that I've done that, because I've watched movies now that I should have watched ages ago. Streetcar Named Desire. Why have I not watched that? What an amazing film. Loved it. Amazing. Standout, sorry, I should say. Another film that stood out to me was a horror thriller film recently. I think it came out last year, called Watcher. It's about a girl that moves with her husband to Romania and starts being watched by someone from the opposite building, and there's a serial killer out and about. Really good, suspenseful. Looks like gore if anyone's a little bit afraid of looking at too much blood or anything like that, but like, whatever. If you're a horror nerd, I'm a horror nerd, so it's good. Yeah, just, it's been a fantastic movie watching season for me for the last 2 months. So, and I'm going to continue doing it because I've found a new thing. And last but not least, guys, Zelda video games has come out. I haven't played it because my partner's playing it and I don't want to buy 2 copies. So what I've done is I've just dived back into the old Zelda from 2017 and just been playing that as well, just to get myself into that world, which is a beautiful, beautiful world in that Zelda. If ever VR is sensory, I don't think I'll ever come back into real life ever. So anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. This has been a very long one. I apologize for the length, but obviously I've had a lot to pack in for 2 months worth of FLOSSTUBE. Well, me missing out on the last FLOSSTUBE. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you made it this far, and if you have, thanks for being here. And if not, well, you're not here to care, so that's fine. But I'll love you and leave you, and happy stitching. And again, thank you for all the support you guys have been giving, and thank you for all the comments, and I hope I can get back to them. So yes, have yourselves a lovely month ahead, and hopefully I'll see you in the next month, if not when I'm back from America. So goodbye.